when I was listening to music, I was always interested in something in there.
Keith Richards looking exactly as you would imagine, a scarf and a hat.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
His son, his friend of mine, Marlon, said, "Dad," his son, he turned around, he went, "You're still around, are you?" His second line was, he said, "Who's the bigger your singer or mine?" "Yeah, you're Ben, you're quite interesting there for a while." And I was like, I could actually say the same to you.
Keith Richards, the legendary guitarist of the Rolling Stones, has never been one to shy away from sharing his opinions. Whether it's music, lifestyle, or the industry, Keith's words often hit harder than his iconic guitar riffs. When it comes to other musicians, let's just say, he doesn't hold back. Today, we're diving into 6 famous artists who've been on the receiving end of Keith's razor-sharp critiques. Keith Richards isn't just known for his revolutionary contributions to rock music. He's also infamous for his brutally honest opinions, whether you agree with him or not. In interviews, his autobiography, and even casual conversations, Keith has called out some of the most well-known names in music. So, who are these artists, and what did they do to get under Keith's skin? Let's break it down. 6 musicians Keith Richards criticized. Number 1, Elton John.
I used to hang with John off and on quite a bit. I mean, he was just a beautiful spirit, you know. I mean, he certainly didn't deserve that.
In his autobiography, Life, Keith didn't hold back when discussing Elton John. He criticized Elton's decision to turn their mutual friend John Lennon's memorial into a grand spectacle, suggesting that it was more about self-promotion than a genuine tribute. For Keith, that crossed the line, and he made his disappointment clear.
John was, I think he used to come around to see me be one of the Stones for a night and not be one of the Beatles. You know, he don't get outrageous.
Number 2, the Beatles. Despite being contemporaries and occasional collaborators, Keith has often criticized the Beatles' music. In particular, he targeted the iconic Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, calling it a mishmash of rubbish during an interview with Esquire. Keith felt the album lacked authenticity and was overhyped, a stark contrast to the widespread acclaim it received.
Fair to say, there were a few eyebrows raised recently when Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones went rogue and called Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band for the Beatles, considered one of the greatest albums in rock history, rubbish. Then again, it also made people aware that despite the fact Keith Richards is more zombie than mortal man, no one has the guts to tell him he actually passed away 20 years ago.
Number 3. Led Zeppelin. Keith has dismissed Led Zeppelin on multiple occasions, often targeting their musicianship. While he acknowledged Jimmy Page as a great session guitarist, he described the band as hollow and claimed they never truly took off as a cohesive group. For a man like Keith, who values raw, soulful music, Led Zeppelin seemed to miss the mark.
I felt they're aptly named, so they never took off for me musically. At the same time, Jimmy Page is one of the best guitar players I've ever known. And Bonham was a hell of a powerhouse drummer. I think he was kind of heavy-handed myself. That's where the lead comes in. Plant was exuberant, Roberts was exuberant. I would say, no, to me, Led Zeppelin is Jimmy Page.
Number 4. Prince. During the height of Prince's popularity in the 1980s, Keith was especially dismissive. He referred to Prince as an overrated midget and suggested his music lacked depth. While Prince was hailed as a musical genius by many, Keith clearly didn't see eye to eye with the artist's style or persona. Number 5. Black Sabbath. Keith has never been a fan of heavy metal, and Black Sabbath wasn't spared from his critiques. In an interview with Rolling Stone, he said he found heavy metal music to be great for comedy, and dismissed it as lacking substance. For Keith, Sabbath's dark, theatrical style was far removed from the blues and rock and roll roots he cherished.
But I do think that sort of stuff did turn ordinary guys that are not trained musicians, that had never thought about it, think, hey, you can actually make music that turns people on.
Number 6. Oasis. Finally, Keith has had plenty to say about Oasis and the Gallagher brothers. While the Gallaghers often expressed their admiration for the Rolling Stones, Keith was critical of their constant infighting and chaotic behavior, calling it unprofessional. He also suggested their music was too derivative of the Stones, lacking originality.
Keith Richards looking exactly as you would imagine, a scarf and a hat.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
And, you're still around, are you? His second line was, he said, one thing I've always wanted to ask you, who's the bigger your singer or mine?
These 6 examples are just a glimpse into Keith Richards' unfiltered perspective on the music industry. Whether you see his comments as brutally honest or overly harsh, one thing is certain. Keith has always stayed true to his beliefs about authenticity and artistry. So, what do you think? Do you agree with Keith's opinions, or are his critiques a bit too harsh? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more stories from the world of music legends. Until next time, keep rocking.